As we close out our third season, can you believe it's the end of our third season? We will take you to the Heritage Oaks annual meeting, where old neighbors met all the new neighbors that had moved in during the past year. But first, sit back and enjoy the Avant Gardeners Garden Tour. We had the pleasure of enjoying the tour. Paula and Dale Smith's yard is a work in progress in the Stratford Village neighborhood. They are creating a natural habitat for the wildlife of the area, along with the butterflies and birds that call Sun City home. They have planted low-maintenance native trees and shrubs, and the flowers in the garden are not only beautiful, they are nature's bird feeders. Stunning. Now, Georgia, you are a garden guide today, and all the other things that you do. Can you tell us about Paula and Dale's house?
Well, it's exciting to be at this house because if I would say anything, it's an inspiration. Paula and Dale are organic gardeners. They embrace an organic lawn service. They have put native plants all through their yard. They feed the birds but protect them, as you'll see, and they're a solar-powered house. So we have someone here who's showing us all this beauty, but inspiring us to do it in a way that protects the earth. I love it.
That's awesome. Thank you, Georgia. We're here with Sue and Judy. Tell us why you're here and what you're looking for.
Well, I'm a member of the garden club, have been for the last 11 years, and I love it. And what is so wonderful about the garden walk is how the homeowners do a wonderful display of showing us how to bring our gardens to life. And so when you see what other people do, it just inspires you to go home and try your best.
And how about you, Sue?
Well, there's so many different plants down here. It's interesting to see what you can put in our garden, since from coming up north or down here, all the plants are so different. It's really interesting to see. And she's done a lovely job of this house. This is gorgeous.
Well, thank you, ladies. Enjoy the rest of the tour.
Thank you.
Sue and Rod Roderis's garden is also located in the Murray Hill neighborhood and has been 14 years in the making. It is filled with perennials that flower every year. There is something always blooming in this garden for the butterflies, bees, and especially the hummingbirds. A path takes us through a woodland garden. Breathtaking. Well, Carol, can you tell us about this beautiful garden here?
Well, this is the supreme labor of love in Sun City that I have seen over all these years. Sue and her husband and myself and my husband, we moved in around 2005, 2006. This is a mature garden, to put it mildly, and it's pretty spectacular. She's a plantaholic, as she calls herself, which is a good thing. I hope everybody enjoys themselves. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, Mr. Rogers.
Things to note in this garden is everything is labeled. Every plant, every tree, every flower. And as you can see, she has many ceramics that she has made in her garden. The stepping stones, the statues, some statues. Sue, can you please tell us about your beautiful garden here?
Sure. I've lived here for almost 16 years. I'm an avid gardener, and so it's been a labor of love over those years, and I've added and kind of made beds bigger and bigger and added more and more plants. I have sun areas, I have areas for shade, and I really try to have plants a lot that will benefit the pollinators, the bees, butterflies, and the hummingbirds.
And you do this alone?
I do this alone, and we were joking that my husband, for better or worse, doesn't really get into the gardening, so I don't have any surprises of things being chopped down or pulled out that I want. But on the other hand, I do it alone. But I love it. So.
And it's been 14 years in the making, I understand.
Actually, it'll be 16 come this September.
Well, thank you very much for speaking with us today.
You are very welcome, and thank you for coming to my garden.
The home of Denise and Doug de Bruin is located in the Murray Hill neighborhood. The prominent plants are the beautiful Japanese maple, along with the boxwood and the palms. The camellias and the azaleas provide color in the season to this newly planted garden. An added touch is the waterfall in the background. Just listen, it's awesome. Well, Jeannie, you're our Ask Me gal today. Can you please give a summation of this beautiful garden?
Well, it's right on the signature hole of Hidden Cypress Golf Course. So we have a waterfall, and the sound of that, hopefully they'll pick that up. It has been established in the last 3 years because Doug and Denise have been here from New Hampshire for 3 years. They did take out a lot of the older foundation plants and put in their own, but plants like this mule palm was here and well established. The green Japanese maple was well established, but most everything else you see has been put in and designed. Doug is a woodworker. He's built a lot of these bird houses that you see that have birds in them. And Denise is also not only a landscaping artist, but has done all the labeling of the plants with beautiful lettering. So they are enjoying this beautiful setting every day, and I'm honored to be their helper today.
They're Ask Me girl.
They're Ask Me girl, yeah.
So, Jeannie, how long have you been in the Avant Gardeners?
9 years now.
And now you're also the president of?
Oakity Farmers Club.
And what can we expect from the Oakity Farmers Club pretty soon?
We will be expanding our Andover garden, which has 26 plots, which are 10 by 20 feet in size. We will be doubling that hopefully within the next year, maybe the next 6 months. But we have over 550 members. There are some plots that are 20 feet by 25 feet in size. You can put in and harvest plants every single month of the year. And so we do have a waiting list right now, not too bad, but get your name on that list so you can do some fall planting.
Well, thank you very much, Jeannie, for speaking with us today.
Thank you. My pleasure.
As I understand it, Denise, you had never seen the home.
No.
Doug came down and saw it before you. Doug, tell me about that.
Well, I happened to be driving through the community with our broker, and he said, geez, we're just doing an appraisal on a house, but it hasn't hit the market yet. This was March of 18. And I said, sure, we'll look at it. So I came walking through. Square footage-wise, it was okay, but it had been dated. But as soon as I walked into the family room and saw the view out back here, I said, yeah, this is it. So I did a video with Denise and said, this is what we have. So we both agreed that, yep, buy it.
And then, Denise, you put your magic touch on it, I understand.
Yeah, we took a couple of years to decide to stay, and there were a lot of overgrown bushes, and then we made the decision to stay and put the money back in the yard and fill it with love.
Can you tell us about some of the special features in your yard?
Well, the waterfall, one thing, and just the plantings are unusual. Nothing from basic greenhouses, but like, Lowe's and Home Depot, and it's all, it's learning. It's a learning tool, and I don't know, we did all the patio and the bricking, and we had our house painted, so we just put a lot of love back into the house.
And I see all your pearls of wisdom, your little sayings all throughout the garden. Tell me about those.
Always love some of the comments and the statements that I read and hear people say, and I like putting it back in the ground so it reminds me of the things that you should be happy about and reflect on. That's my thought.
That is so special. Thank you both for speaking with us today.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Enjoy.
There is so much to see in the garden of Donna and Peter Shaw in the Garden Walk neighborhood. Inside and out there is something to see. A beautiful Confederate rose, a hibiscus, palm trees, citrus trees, and all the flowering plants complete this paradise. Absolutely beautiful. There's a beautiful coral color hibiscus. There are some cannons ready to blossom. There's a pale pink geranium highlighted with white pentas. And there's straw flowers on the end. This is a beautiful shade and sunny garden. Well, Donna and Peter, please tell me, whatever possessed you to create this gorgeous, gorgeous garden, and how much work is it? I'll ask you.
A temporary flight to the obscure and insanity. A crazy moment.
Okay, Donna?
And I'll just say that's not true. We built the patio in the back, and when you sit out on the patio, you looked at nothing. And that's what made me first want to put it in the garden, was just so that I could look at flowers when you're sitting on the back porch and have that serenity and beauty.
And how much time and effort does it take to keep this up?
Full time.
No, a few
full-time
hours a
job.
week. It seems like you finish one bed, and then another bed needs to be taken care of, and then you finish that bed, and then another bed needs to be taken care of. So it's time consuming, but it is love.
And I want to give kudos to my wife because I have my morning coffee right inside that porch and I come out here with a smile on my face you would not believe. And for that alone, it was worth it. It's a lot of work, but it's worth it.
And I see you have perennials and annuals. What's the ratio to it?
I used to do almost all annuals, and then I decided that I needed to start doing more perennials especially when my girlfriend kept telling me you need more perennials, not annuals, so you don't have to repeat it every single year. The problem is that you do your perennials, one comes back and one doesn't. And now it's not balanced anymore. So it's like, why didn't I just put annuals in? Then I know I have to replace them anyway. So I'm trying to learn to do more with perennials, but the flowers are just so much more beautiful in the annuals, and I love flowers. So there you are again. It's back to those, I love the flowers.
Well, thank you both for speaking with me today. I really enjoyed your garden.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Now, no garden tour would be complete without a stop to our very own community hummingbird and butterfly garden, located to the right of the fishing pier at Lake Somerset. The garden is totally maintained with loving care by our garden club. It is celebrating its 10th year in existence. All the plants and trees are marked with identifying placards, so please come and enjoy this garden at your leisure. The garden is a certified monarch butterfly way station habitat. We are here at the final stop of the Avant Gardeners Gardener Tour for 2021. We toured some beautiful gardens today. Each one was totally different. Now this floral show is highlighting the orchid sig, the herb and garden sig, and the bonsai sig, plus many, many more.
There's no place like home or our hometowns. The Heritage Oak neighbors are going to share their hometown experiences while embracing their low-country lifestyle. Tell us about the Heritage Oaks neighborhood.
The Heritage Oak neighborhood is about 15 years old. The whole neighborhood is 15 years old. Concession Oaks area was the first one to develop. And then the Thomas B section of it developed about 14 years ago. We've always had a very active activities group. Bonnie DeSimone, who's heading that group, actually since it started, has always kept everybody involved. It's a very active neighborhood, even though the weather is horrible tonight, and we expected a lot more people. We're trying to get ourselves restarted again with the pandemic. This was a first neighborhood meeting, if you will, since September of 2019. So this will kind of kick us off. We'll have another one in the fall, and hopefully that'll be, it will go ahead and help bring more of the newcomers out. We've had a pretty good turnover in our neighborhood, as probably a lot of the neighborhoods have, and we're trying to get more events to get more of the new people involved in them. So tonight is one of the first ones we're doing like that.
Bonnie, you got to tell us what is going on here tonight.
Oh my God, chaos actually. Well, we had a reservation for the pavilion, and we didn't know what to do with it because we were afraid to rent any other facilities. So one of our social committee members came up with the idea. Unfortunately, he is not here tonight, but Craig Belkey is the brainchild here. And he said, how about a theme of where are you from? And we just ran with it, and the committee came up with all kinds of ideas, and they're supposed to bring food from their hometown or their home state. And then we have maps that they're supposed to be walking around meeting people, getting signatures of who's from where and who lived where and blah, blah, blah. And then at the end of the evening, after we eat all the food everybody brought, we as HOP, our neighborhood, we call it HOP, we have contributed food as well. And it's shrimp and grits and peach cobbler, compliments of the lunch lady. And we are going to do a little ceremony at the end of the evening and indoctrinate all of our people from all over the country into the Low Country, and they are now Low Country residents.
What a great way to indoctrinate them. But wait, Where are you from?
Well, both of us were born in Washington, D.C., and you won't find too many people that can tell you that. We grew up in Maryland and went to high school together. And as far as I know, I was born married.
We met in our senior year of high school, football player, pom-pom girl, and that was it. And we're getting ready to celebrate our 50th anniversary next month.
The question of the evening, where are you from? Our Heritage Oaks neighbors are going to share their hometown experiences. Let's listen.
We are most recently from Tucson, Arizona, but I hail from Spokane, Washington.
And I come from California.
The only interesting fact I know about Spokane, Washington, is that Bing Crosby hails from there. I loved it. It had great beauty, 4 seasons. It was a great place to grow up. But the home of Bing Crosby.
And from California, where I'm from, the Mojave Desert, that's where the space shuttle would come in and out, and you'd hear a sonic boom every time it would land.
Hello, we are from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. My husband, Jim Martin, is from Lancaster County, Pennsylvania. What I find most interesting about Philadelphia is their love of hot dogs and soft pretzels. And my husband will tell you what's famous about Lancaster County, Pennsylvania, besides Amish.
Besides the Amish, we have plenty of interesting foods, from corn chowder, Amish potato salad. We'll get to experience that this afternoon. It's got an interesting culture of people from all over, many dialects, the Amish, Mennonites, plenty of Christians, German, and that's it.
And we're from Indiana, Greenwood, which is a small place near Indianapolis. We go to the 500, sometimes down to Louisville.
And what's in Louisville?
The horse race.
Okay.
Everybody knows about the horse race.
I grew up in Michigan. That's where I'm from.
Okay. I'm from New Jersey originally, but I left when I was about 17 years of age. Never went back.
I'm from Ohio originally, but I've lived in Florida, in Georgia, and love South Carolina, where I'm at now.
I'm from Brooklyn, New York. Moved to Mississippi, Jackson, Mississippi, moved to Tennessee, moved to Washington, D.C. area. Where else did I live? Other places. And then South Carolina.
But you couldn't tell she's from New York, could you?
As we close out the 3rd season of In Our Neighborhoods, we leave you with a little bit of a catch-up with the Ocoee River Band. They played over at the Ollie Summer Session. Registration. Thank you for watching this episode of Ion. We want to know what's happening in your neighborhood, so contact us at suncityhh@gmail.com at least 2 weeks in advance of your event so we can give you the coverage you deserve. And stay tuned to SCTV for more episodes of In Our Neighborhood. Watch for reruns this month.